Welcome everyone. Today's partnership fireside chat. I'm super excited today to be part of Deploy, and thank you for joining us in this important milestone for our company and for our community. We are super excited to have you here as developers who has been with us in this journey long time ago. And today we are going to talk about how we can help developers on this journey to be more productive and continue to build software together with DigitalOcean. So in order to do that, let me get started, introduce myself. I'm Fear, I'm the leader of ecosystem partnership here at DigitalOcean, and I'm super excited, as I mentioned before, to bring three partners for us to have a fire chat. And the reason is these three executives, CEOs and founders, they've been developers themselves. And today they are going to share insights and wisdom on how they have built innovation and how they help their customers to continue to build innovation faster and very productive. Thank you for joining today and continue to invest your time, dedication, and resources to continue to build this innovation with us. Our goal in the partnership is continue to help you to build the best innovation on DigitalOcean by bringing the best developer cloud for you with simplicity, flexibility, and obviously in a way that you can build profitable software with cost effective. We all know that building and being productive is important to remove all the bottlenecks in terms of automation, in terms of workflows, and also migration cost that we all know that sometimes we face that ceiling. Meanwhile, in your journey building software, we all know that, and we help you to design and launch your software. Because for us, it's important that we make you successful. That's why today I want to share with you that we are helping founders like yourself to co-sell, co-marketing, and bring your software to our marketplace and support you to increase your revenue and your GTM as a whole. So in order to continue to have this conversation, let's dive into our fireside chat. I have today with me Jan Gronenberg, founder and CTO of Aquazil, Kyle Campbell, founder and CTO of CTO.ai, and Johnny Dallas, founder and CEO of Zit. So before I dive into them, let's go back and to talk to them, and then we dive into the fireside. So I would like to get started with, I would love that I will go in this sequence, CTO.ai, Zit, and Aquazil. Why don't we, in order to start with a round of introduction, please introduce yourself, your company mission, and highlight the problems that you solve for. So let's start with Kyle.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kyle Campbell. I'm the founder, CEO, and I guess CTO of CTO.ai. We are a modern CI/CD platform that automates build, test, preview, and deployment of software to DigitalOcean. We then collect telemetry data from that, let you measure software delivery with DORA metrics and 12 more KPIs. And we've just introduced the ability to start leveraging AI agents for things like code review, build, test, and deployment failure. So our goal overall is to help developers have the most intelligent, intuitive, and measurable developer experience as they're deploying to DigitalOcean.
Great. Let's go with Zit with Johnny Dallas.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Johnny Dallas. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Zit. Zit is a cloud-native CI/CD and deployment platform. We make it basically easy to adopt cloud-native technologies like Kubernetes on platforms like DigitalOcean, get all the power out of these tools without having to learn all the complexity. You come to us when you're looking to get cloud-native technology spun up, or you spin up Kubernetes clusters. We bring all the best practices from your pipelines to audit logging to notifications, auto-scaling, all in one place, so you can get it shipping as quickly as possible.
Great, thank you. So, and now Aquazil, I'm super excited to have Jan Kronberg. I know you for many years back in the day in my previous adventures, and I'm super excited that you are joining DigitalOcean community and decided to build a company to go all in with DigitalOcean. This is amazing. So yeah, thank you for being here today. Please let us know all these audience, these developers to know more about Aquazil. What is the problem that you solve for, and share a little bit about your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think, thank you, Fer. I'm Jan. I'm the co-founder of Aquazil and CTO. We basically specialize in AI and cybersecurity. We have, 10, 12 years of experience. I mean, most of why we're attracted to the DigitalOcean partnership is because we are really much a service company that help build startup from the ground up. I've had, quite a bit of experience with exits with startups, and I think you come to us when you want to build a company and you want to build it on a modern platform like DigitalOcean. And we also specialize in migrations. I've done more than $80 million worth of migration so far for various platforms, and we look forward to do that for DigitalOcean and migrate people to DigitalOcean to essentially experience how good the platform is. Back to you, Phil.
Amazing. That's great. So let's dive into the fireside. I will start with you, Kyle. So as you know, one of the topics that keeps a lot of founders and builders and developers up at night is developer complexity, right? And the question that I have for you, that if you please share your insight and all the practitioner experience that you've been doing over the last couple of years on how do most customers when they start Kyle, their DevOps journey and they start building applications on containers and leveraging Kubernetes platforms. So please share with us, like, what is the typical roadblocks that they start having challenges, they struggle or they hit as they build and scale?
Yeah, in my experience, the journey of DevOps is a continuum, and you have to make decisions early on that benefit your long-term future. But as you go, these decisions and these trade-offs effectively change. And so there's a sort of a dichotomy in this problem. Usually what happens is as a team starts growing, the founder needs to hand off software delivery to a couple of lead developers who are sort of doing DevOps while they're also building features. Further on, you start looking at, do I hire my first DevOps engineer? You start having problems around infrastructure management and CI/CD. And each one of these paradigms has a set of trade-offs that you have to manage. And the dichotomy is ultimately the dichotomy between simplicity and customization, in my experience. And on one hand, early on, simplicity is absolutely a benefit to you because you want to save your innovation tokens. Dan McKinley said you've got 3 innovation tokens, spend them wisely. Don't reinvent the database, leverage the database, reinvent something that's going to benefit your customers. So that simplicity is really, really beneficial early on. But as you start growing and you start needing to differentiate, you start having more unique and domain experience problems. This is where the problem of breaking glass and being able to actually customize what you're doing is equally as important. So I think what a lot of teams have trouble with is measuring that dichotomy. And so when I think about software delivery, one of the most important things for an early stage team to figure out is, how do we measure success? Is it story points? Is it the amount of pull requests that we're moving through the pipeline? Is it the quality of our stability? And Fair, as you know, you have a deep background in this. Things like DORA metrics are very useful, but adopting them early on when your tooling is not necessarily robust, or the way that you collect this information is not robust, this is a very hard problem, and it doesn't really lend itself to simplicity. So what we try to do at C2.ai is help companies have a simple developer experience that can iterate with them. So it can be simple, they can break glass, they can then leverage best practices around things like infrastructure as code, Terraform to customize. And I think that helps them both have that simplicity early on while being able to cater to the challenges that emerge as they scale, both as their team scales, as their infrastructure scales, or as the complexity of their products and customers scale. And I think that's a really important thing for software developers to think about in the early days, is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution today that's going to fit you in 5 years. You have to have a strategy for implementing these tools that can evolve with you. And you want to pick partners and cloud providers like DigitalOcean. You have that ability to give you that simplicity up front, but then break glass and customize as you grow.
No, I think this is great, and I appreciate all the details, because we've been on this journey for a few years, and simplicity is actually great for developers, and they want to code. And when they push the code to source control, and from that point on, as they start growing, the channels become very open and front and center for them, and complexity becomes a challenge and comes on their way, and then they start slowing down their productivity, and that's exactly the opposite that they want to do. And I think you nail on how to remove complexity, but also at the same time continue to scale and customize as you grow your workflows. So let's continue this conversation. I think we're gonna double click on this conversation with you, Johnny. Super excited to have you here. Also, as Kyle said, start with simplicity, start scaling, and then you start hitting the automation conversation, how to automate workflows, and ultimately, what is the impact for the developer's productivity on that phase. So with that in mind, my question to you, which are the best practices in terms of CI/CD and workflow automation that you could share that with us today, with all these developers in our audience, that can solve that complexity at scale?
Yeah, well, I first off couldn't agree more with what Kyle just shared. It's all about simplicity versus complexity, and that changes as you grow. At the start, you want to be as simple as you can, just ship, ship, ship. But when we talk about CI/CD and we talk about some of the complexity that comes in, there's a lot of these best practices that you're going to need to adopt progressively as you get more and more mature, both for reasons of security or reliability becoming more important as you start serving larger and larger customers, but also in terms of increasing your own team's productivity. I think in the CI and CD space, there's all these best practices that as a small team, you might not really be able to justify building yourself, but rapidly speed up your development time, like preview branches, ephemeral environments, having audit logging in place so you know exactly who's changing what, when from day one, optimizations within builds like multi-stage Docker builds, and plenty more depending on the different technology you're using. On the rollout side, you're even thinking about canary deployments, progressive rollout. These are technologies that are pretty mature now. We know what they look like, but if you're a small team, you're 1 to 5 people, you're probably not going to go and build them yourselves, even though they could be massive speed ups for you. So what we spend a lot of time on is this idea of how do we create abstractions that allow you to get a lot of the best practices that larger teams might have or further down the roadmap from day one. How do you work at a more abstract level that allows you to peel apart the abstractions and get into the details as you come up to them. So you don't have to be overwhelmed by all the complexity on day one, but you can get there as you get more advanced. I think additionally, we one big piece of how we've built Zeet and what we generally see as a best practice is centralization. There's lots and lots of tools out there. There's many, many different ways to solve all the different problems in DevOps. And you should use the best tools you can, always find the right ones, but having some common control plane that allows you to see who's changing what, when, where, why, how have things changed over time, and leverage the benefits of having everything in one place is really huge. So abstractions and centralization of operations into one place are probably the 2 biggest things that I'd talk about here in terms of how you can manage that trade-off of simplicity versus complexity.
Okay, that's great. You just remind me like a journey on a lot of companies, especially founders, when they are starting off the ground. Sometimes they decided to go all the way straight to Kubernetes, and then they need to tack into the CI/CD, and that's when the complexity starts, and also they're ramping to understand all these pieces together. I think what is beautiful about when we come together and here in DigitalOcean is it starts where they are at the beginning. And I would like to highlight to all of you in the community and developers, if you don't know, we have this app platform where it's essentially bring all the simplicity for you to connect your database, create your application with build packs, and then you can deploy in a service, in a full abstraction layer, going to your point, Johnny, what you just said. And as you grow and becomes more important for you to take more control, how you scale up and down, etc., you then slowly but surely you go to Kubernetes journey. That's when you tap into CI/CD and you start to look into going back what you said, Kyle. You start with simplicity. Maybe it's the best way to start it up a platform. As you grow, you go to Kubernetes, then you start learning how to customize the CI/CD as well. Now, great conversation. So on this journey, we all know that a lot of customers, when they start facing that complexity and they see the cost going up, cost with with developer as a whole, the productivity is slowing down, but also cloud cost. As you start having this complexity, continue to consume more cloud spend, the cost goes to the sky, and customers and developers, they want to reduce this cost and also reduce risk. So that's why I have Jan today from Aquazil. I would like to tap into your intel, Jan, and understand more about tell us about how you and Aquazil helps on the cloud modernization journey, and then how Aquazil can help reduce this complexity, but at the same time reduce the cloud cost and the risks that they are part of this modernization, migration, and automation.
Yeah. That's a good point. That's a good question, sorry. And thanks for Johnny and Kyle for their answer to your question before. But there's 3 points. I mean, for us, just moving to the cloud, is something that's going to help you modernize whatever a startup is doing. So, I mean, on that note, we basically help people move from data center or from other cloud to DigitalOcean for free, right? So that's one offering that we do, and that put them, if you want, in a lift and shift mode. And from there, we offer other things that can help them modernize, which is we help them Dockerize their applications and so forth. And once they have done that, the third point is we've developed a FinOps tool that connect to DigitalOcean that allow people to resize their VM, resize their storage in an automated manner, so they can essentially go to our tool and just understand, what they have to do to reduce their costs. So if you want, it's a three-prong approach, right? It's a one, move to the cloud, two, Dockerize and modernize, your application, and three, like we offer a free monitoring tool for cost that allow them to right-size, their application, their storage, their VMs, and so forth. So I think this is our approach.
Amazing. That's great. So we started talking about how to modernize, how to tackle the CI/CD when it's scale and the workflows, and then we have Jan bringing the simplicity, also how to do that into the journey with great offers. Thank you, Jan. What a surprise and positive surprise! Free cloud migration in terms of containerization, database. This is great, and absolutely we are together on this, supporting every one of you developers out there and ISV and founders, how to modernize and how to do this migration and reduce cost with free migration supported by Aquazil and DigitalOcean. So that's great. Thank you. I want to thank specifically the three of you, Kyle, Jan, and Johnny, to be with me today and share your insights and your intel with our community. So super appreciated and super excited to continue to work with you. I also want to thank you, developer, who joined Deploy today. And for us to continue to have this conversation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can go to our website, digitalocean.com/partners. And I would welcome you, if you are not a partner yet, and if you are building a company, we have an amazing offer for you as an ISV partner, where we help you to build on DigitalOcean, give you the benefits, MDF, give you better discounts, but more importantly, helping you to go to market with us through our programs around co-marketing, co-sell, and also bring your software to our marketplace. So thank you again for being with us. I'm super excited for us to continue to have this innovation and bringing more companies to be successful in the marketplace. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.